Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox a First Order Assault Walker. So let's go cut this thing loose. Come on. Alright everyone, here we are today with an Assault Walker from The Force Awakens. And we are going to unbox this thing today, so let's get into this thing. Quickly, I just want to spin the packaging around, let you guys take a look at it. Alright, and so you have a nice little picture of the item here, the walker, and the figure that it comes with. He comes with a Stormtrooper Sergeant from the First Order. And then there's a little vehicle description, and I'll quickly read that to you guys. These mobile assault walkers operate as mechanized cavalry units, storming any enemy positions and running down fleeing troops. Very short and very brief. And there you go. Let's cut into this guy. And as you can see, it's from the Force Awakens line. And as far as I know, these guys, or these vehicles, did not actually appear in the Force Awakens. So, but sometimes you get toys from toy lines that don't make it into the movie. But as a collector, we're not going to complain about that. All right. So first, looking at here's your First Order Stormtrooper Sergeant. Let's pop him out of there. We have the blaster. Very cool. All right. So let's put that to the side for a sec. Alright guys, so here is a closer look at the First Order Stormtrooper Sergeant, is what they're calling this character. And of course he's very similar to a Stormtrooper. You have this little shoulder padding here, which is what makes him a little bit different than your regular Stormtrooper. And of course you can see we have the little blaster rifle here, and we'll check that out. And let's see here. So there you can see it. It's just your standard Stormtrooper blaster rifle. But one of the things that's unique about these First Order Stormtroopers here is if you look at this little tab right here on this side that I'm tapping with my finger, this little rectangular tab, and not this one, that's actually supposed to be the ammo clip, but the other one here, the smaller one, there's a purpose for that. And what it is, if you look at the Stormtrooper here and you side, you'll see this little slot on his thigh. So what you want to do is just put that little tab into that little slot, and it's like a little holster for his blaster, and it attaches to the side of his armor. And you see it's on there fairly well, but you just pull it off. There you go. So if you've ever wondered what that little notch or slot was on your Stormtrooper's armor, that's what it is for. So let's run through this character's movements real quick. So you have head movement, that's a full rotation, and you get a little up and down wiggle. And to be honest, it feels like his head's on a ball joint here. And then full shoulder rotation, and you're going to get a little bit of restricted movement on the other arm because of the shoulder pad. And you can see how it's hitting, but if you want, it is movable, and you can rotate his arm all the way around. So you can see that you can move this shoulder pad around a little bit. I don't know that it's supposed to do that, but it does. And looking at the rest of him here, it looks like the only other part of his body that moves is his hips. So you have a little bit of forward movement and not very much back movement. And one of the reasons you're going to have restricted movement, because you can see he'll sit down and everything, but he's kind of in a leaned back position, is because the armor, kind of just the way these characters are designed, it's hard to give them full articulation because the armor plating hits. And you can see right here the armor starts hitting his little utility belt. So just be aware of that if you want to purchase this character. So there is your First Order Stormtrooper Sergeant. This is what he looks like. Very cool. And let's, real quick here, let's see how well he holds this little blaster. So, fits in that hand fairly well. Looks good. And just because I know he's going to hold on to a steering mechanism on that vehicle here, the walker, his hands should be pretty much the same thing on either side. So, he does hold it in both hands. And, you know, it's in there fairly good. Well, it's a little bit loose in this one. But it feels a lot better in the hand, his right hand, that has the side with the little clip on it, or the slot for the gun. But let's get this assault walker out of here. And wow, actually kind of surprised how small it is. Alright, I think he is free. Alright. Some promotional material. Very nice. The assault walker. So here it is. And very nice. You can see it's very heavily armored. You got 3 blasters on the front here. You got 2 little at the top. And you have 1 big one at the bottom that actually rotates. But you don't get full rotation because you can see it starts hitting the body of the walker there. And then if you look inside here, you have a little steering mechanism here, and it has a little bit of movement on it. You can move it up and down. It's got a little swing to it. And that's so you can put it in a little bit easier to put it in the Stormtrooper's hands when you put them up there. And then you have what appears to me, I believe this is supposed to be a little antenna. And it's got a little flexibility to it. And that seems to be all it really does. Other than that, the interior of this thing doesn't seem to be much more to it. And then, of course, we have the legs that have articulation to them. So they move at where it's attached to the body. You can actually hear them clicking. So they kind of snap into position. And if you listen, you can hear them click as I move it. And you don't get full rotation, but you can go about that far to, which isn't, you'll never need it to do that, but they're just so you understand the range of it. And then if you look down here, what would be the vehicle's, I guess, ankle, you have a little more articulation here. Okay, and then if you look at the feet here, you'll see you have like these little claws in what would be the vehicle's, I guess, toes, for lack of a better word. But so, and you can see there's like a little serrated piece under here that looks like it has a little serration to it. And I've seen it called on other walkers that have this similar feature, that's a wire cutter, so they can cut through wires and stuff like that. So I mean, you may have seen it called something else, but I believe that's what that's supposed to be. And you can see how the feet are green, and then you come up into the body where it's gray, and then you have this, what would be the shielding or the armor on the front has this nice camo pattern on it. You can see. Okay, so let's see how well our trooper fits in here. And so it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to kind of stick him in there, and you can actually see, oops, how he has this little rounded piece on the back of his armor. And if you look, they actually have a little cutout here that is for that piece, and it actually fits pretty well. So when you fit him in there, you'll see that little rounded piece fits right into that little cutout. And then we're just going to stick the handlebars, or the steering mechanism, into his hands here, and not difficult at all. Very cool. So he fits in there very well, staying in there pretty good, but there he is. And the vehicle itself stands very well. I was kind of wondering about that, how well it would stay on its feet, and it does pretty well. So I'm just glad it stands on its own here. So all right, very good. So all right, well, there it is, everyone, from the Force Awakens toy line. This is an Assault Walker with First Order Stormtrooper Sergeant. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.